Romania.
Don't be sorry. It's my man to the throne. Hey, don't look so sad. Yeah, I know the world is going mad.
You want civil war, but you lack conviction.
Okay, we'll vote for Starmer.
You never been intimidated by something you haven't done. You got me, you got you, don't feel alone, never feel it's just you. It's not just you, it's not just you. Or a clever trick of the mind, but it's not just you. We have an army, it's not all the way, we are the people. And we
Commander Watt, but don't be a cunt.
We have a heart, we have a head.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
I'm having a ball.
They make a course correction for
You, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
Marxist shites with blood on their hands. 100 new dead, but for them it's okay. They went to uni, studied home economics. Yeah, that will save the day. They will say we never heard a fly, and you can't call it a lie. They never laid a hand, they never took the land. They just let the people starve in a slave state. The late others who got to work too late. Utopia. Utopia. The prison for the mind. An excuse to make slaves. Utopia. A fictitious state. Freedom in
Yo, Tom Fury Zero News mic test. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Is it coming from the mic? 'Cause I might need to put it underneath the wind if it is working. Oh, it's going to be too windy. So let's see what we can do. Sorry about this. It wasn't. I've only just walked onto this field and it suddenly got really, really windy. So otherwise I would have been ready. 1 second. Bollocks. Very professional. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Wasn't expecting this at all. Right, building where I live shields the wind from a certain direction so you don't realise how windy it is. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. I've got to mention a couple of things, but the main thing for today's video is somebody called Capricorn, a friend of the channel, brought up a point. I don't want to be ignored. I don't want it to be ignored, but I also think there's a little history lesson there as well, and a good opportunity to expand upon something. She mentioned about how we need strong women figures in the movement, and hope you said that with good faith, Cap. I think you did. And so I kind of wanted to address that because it's sort of right, but also sort of not wrong, but there's other stuff you might need to know to give you some more perspective on this stuff. And I wanted to offer you something on this. Because yeah, there's some stuff that I don't know if you know or not, but that are about the movement where, to be honest with you, we've needed men to step up for a long time. The women have been carrying the load. So, but before I get there, hey, yeah, good to see ya. Oi, oi. Oi, oi. Remember, I only get 1/3 of the chat come through, by the way, guys, because I'm on a studio. Hi, Getter, by the way. Thank you for keep supporting me. And so as a result, I only get 1/3 of the chat come through. Now, I think I've seen something today, and I'm like, oh, thank God for this. I'm never going to throw stones at an audience, right? Not a very clever thing to do. In fact, stupidest thing you can do in the world. But I am going to point to all of our viewing habits, me included, every single one of us, right? I'm going to take my glasses off for a minute so I've got long range vision. And that is that, sorry, just got to watch out behind me. Sorry, what was I talking about? Shit. Give me a second. I'll come back round to it if I do forget. I'll come back round because I'm not going to forget these points. So, shit. So many distractions around here. Give me a second because I could just move on to other points, but I don't really want to. I actually want to bring this up. Anybody remember where I was? Hey Steve, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Shit. But anyway, I felt like I know what I came to say anyway. I felt like I'm seeing something in people that is finally going the way that I was hoping it would. So people, unfortunately, will go where the drama is. They won't admit that, nobody does. But I've done streams in the past in which people have told me they absolutely would not watch if I did X, Y, and Z. So I did X, Y, and Z, and those were the highest watch streams that I had. So there's a weirdness about the way this movement works. And a lot of people don't like the drama, but what they don't realise is a lot more people do. And so they do tune in, some of them just for that. And you've got to realise drama sells on here, everybody knows it. And don't get me wrong, many people lament it. Many people lament that that's a driving factor on here. You know, again, YouTube are far from innocent in this. Yeah, far from innocent in this. It's not a neutral space that, you know, it's designed to get some of these results. Let's not leave them blameless in all of this. You know, I'm not blaming them for everything either, but let's not leave them out of this. But what I'm trying to say is the drama gets perpetuated by people's continued interest in it. It's why people kept saying, why did you know, when Brexit was being covered, why are they putting Brexit on the news every day? Because people were watching. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Because people are watching it. They don't put stuff up for an audience of nobody. Yeah, so if while there's drama going on, people will watch it. And as a YouTube is a worldwide phenomena, that's where a lot of the big influencers and that one of them said the other day, you know, if he was to do good with his channel and spread a good message, he wouldn't have got out, he wouldn't have got a successful business. He had to be a prick in order to have that. That's crazy, right? But that's kind of what he was saying in order to get a successful business out of, like, because he was taking YouTube as a business, yeah? And this is the environment that's encouraged. So, of course, a lot of people are looking for drama streams and that. Today, I think we've made a breakthrough because I'm seeing, unlike the rest of the internet that has got the luxury to fuck around and in their own respective countries, come on, Sue, in their own respective countries, they've got the luxury time. So, they've got the luxury and time to fuck around. We don't because we're in this country. And I think that's created a sort of split. So, yeah, so, sorry, fucking distractions today. Jesus. It's amazing I can keep a thought. It really is amazing I can keep a thought. Sorry, I haven't had a walk and talk like this for a while, where things are coming at me in every direction. But I must have picked like the worst time of day. Jesus Christ. So let's keep going. Sorry about this. I wish I could edit this down now. Anyway, so where was I again? I am sorry, folks. This frustrates me. I used to love doing walk and talks. They were uninterrupted. They, you know, just flowing conversation. Just breathe. So, oh yeah, drama streams. So, unlike the rest of YouTube, what I'm seeing with inside the movement is atrophy. You're getting sick of it. Good. Because if you're getting sick of it, and again, people in other countries are going to keep wanting this to go on and on and on, because there's no downside for them. For us, the downside is that we got to live in this fucking country, yeah? So there's at least what you might call a ceasefire pact that's going on. And there's other things happening. And now, if someone wants to lean into drama, it's not going to go so well. If someone tries to lean into drama for clicks now, it's not going to be received the same way. The people have had enough. That's good. Because what the people don't realise, because we're all making individual decisions, that they are the driving force behind what agendas and that some people have on these platforms. Why they make the videos they do is they're audience driven. In good ways, by the way, where they just feel they owe this audience a service, because you're the guys that built them up. And in other ways, more manipulative ways. It depends on all creators are different. All creators are created differently. So, yeah. Now, about women in the movement. Yeah, let me just finish on that. So I think the fact that you have all had enough, instead of the people virtue signaling that they've had enough, whilst then going on other channels and stirring up the shit. I'm talking about the people who've genuinely had enough, who are bored, and you can see they're bored. That's the type of people we need to stepping forward, not the virtue signalers. Oh, I'm so sick of this, but only when it's their man taking flack. It should be people saying, I don't care which way the flack's going, I want it to stop. And that's what we've got to. So that's not well done on anybody other than you guys, yeah? Credit where it's due, right? But the credit ain't on us, credit's on you. So, women in the movement. Capricorn made, just a comment that women were not, we needed strong women represented in the movement. She's absolutely right. But what she doesn't know, or may not, I don't know how long Cap's been around. Sue, don't fucking ignore me. Or today's, it's one of them. Is that in this movement, my opinion, and it's not just my opinion, many people have felt the same way as me, was that women were overrepresented in the movement. And the reason for it, and this is hard to say, but going back, and we're talking going back some years now, going back some years is because the women, hey Sue, this way, the women had more guts out on the demos. A lot of the time the women were more organised. A lot of the time the women had their shit together. To be totally frank with you, it was the men that needed to shape up over the last few years. It's been the men that needed to step forward, because the women already did, yeah? Don't fuck with the women and her kids. Don't fuck with the women and her kids. That's all the motivation a woman needs. And many of them would go out on their fucking shield straight from day one. So for the longest time, we've had strong females in this movement. Now, a lot of them don't take the front and centre roles they might have been able to, but that's a choice they've made. Some of them choose to stay in the dark because they're smart and their egos aren't so big as us guys, and they realise that that's where some of them can operate the best. And from what I've seen of their work, they're right. You've also had the Wendy Richters and other girls in this movement. You will see them again. Strong women will be represented again, and women are represented anyway by different creators and stuff like that. But I mean, the real high IQ, on the ball women, a lot of them have been through a lot, a lot. But it's cycles. And let me tell you something, just generally speaking, women have more than represented themselves in the 8 years that I've been involved, 9 years now that I've been involved. If anything, when I started this, demonstrations of that, it was kind of embarrassing, because you'd have a row of women fucking giving the police shit and the men stood behind them. That changed over, like I say, it's changed. And I knew why. It's more complex to just say the guys were pussies. That's not fair. There was other things going on. Yeah, and the women knew they could push a bit further. It was more complex, but nevertheless, a lot of us guys felt we could have been doing more, and that guys generally could have been doing more. And so many of us felt like we were letting the women down of the movement. We're supposed to be protectors after all. So, you know, Cap, and to anybody, you know, thinking like that, I get where you're coming from, but it was the guys that let you down. It was the guys, in my opinion, at one point, it was the guys letting people down because they weren't standing up until they did. And then once they've started standing up, I think guys are like lions, you know. They know that attacks could be fatal, yeah, so they try and avoid them. And then when they've really got to, that's it, you know. And I think you're seeing the English lion waking up right now. But believe me, we need all the Boudikas that we can get. We really do. So you're getting an argument here. And that's why we need to get away. Again, you know, there is people, you know, again, I've put out certain demographical facts. I can't help the facts. It doesn't mean I'm against any group of people, right? Age or otherwise, or gender. So again, you're getting people trying to divide and conquer, you know, by making the men hate the women, women hate the men. Can I just tell you something? I saw the same trick tried in 2019 and 2020, and it worked, and it did split some men and women up in the movement, and many of them don't speak to this day over something that was orchestrated. So, and I'm not saying that people, I don't know who's orchestrating, but what I'm saying is don't buy into that, because if you do, it's just allowing us to be split down another way, another divide and conquer idea. The fact of it is, one of the reasons why this movement has been so strong is that generally speaking, women and men have worked so well together and they've understood each other's strengths. You know, and we've seen, you know, in certain aspects, I'm sorry to say it, guys, but in certain aspects, the women do far better at certain aspects of, you know, just from the ones that I've seen doing certain things in this movement. However, when the guys come into their own, they really come into their own. What I'm trying to say is everybody's needed. Everybody's needed. But at the end of the day, if political solutions don't work out and shit comes down, it's going to be the guys you're going to need. And they need to be men. They need to be men prepared to protect women and children. And half of the fucking dinnos that we have now aren't. They think they are. They think they are. Because all they've ever done is had to fantasize about it. But you don't know until you're in that position. And yeah, there's a lot of guys in Britain, young and, you know, younger and otherwise, that need to shape up and realise that if things don't go right in the future, you may need to be learning how to defend women. A lot of people are already doing it, you know, because it's no shame to say that a fucking 6 foot bloke, well look, a 5'8" bloke and a 5'8" woman, normally speaking, if the genetics are similar, it's not going to go well for the woman, right? Now imagine the 6'8" bloke grabbing a woman. Yeah? It's not a contest. It's not a contest. Therefore, guys have a duty, because they do have the ability to contest that strength. The guys have a duty to protect the women. That's not old-fashioned, and if it is, so what? Like, we have women protect children, guys protect women, yeah? And it's a good functioning system that has saved us all. So I have no doubt that we will have more strong women voices coming through, as we've always had, because they're never in short supply. And they've done good work. But like I say, many of them are smart. They do the work behind the scenes because they know they can be effective. Many of them don't like the camera. In my experience anyway, they don't like the camera, they don't like the attention. So they tend to do, and then you look through history, people say, oh, patriarchy, patriarchy, patriarchy. Some of the most powerful people in Rome were women. Not in deed, not in title, Not in any legible document, but in every fucking conceivable way that mattered. Many of them were kingmakers. Many of them were orchestrating multiple different rulers from behind the scenes. Women have always had a different kind of power. But women, you know, when they say behind every strong man or every great man is a great woman, like that was literally true in so many cases through Rome and other things. But women choose a different path. I'm going to give you an example of what, you know, we're just wired differently. Women will choose poison, and back in Rome, yeah, that's make a hypothesis, not a hypothesis, a scenario here, because otherwise YouTube will get cranky. But in Rome, if a woman wanted to murder a guy, and this is true of outside cultures, that's what I'm saying, all cultures, this is kind of true of, if they want to kill a guy, they're probably going to use poison. Because women don't have the same testosterone and aggressive tendencies. And it's why, if in cases of them taking their own, they will often resort to poisons and toxins. Guys, because of the more, again, when you don't think about it, when you're in those states of mind, you're at the absolute extremes of your gender and your physiology. Guys will tend to use a more violent and often more effective because of the violent approach towards ending, you know. And that's the sad fact that people don't know in our country is we get a lot of information about suicide rates for men, but what they don't realise is just as many women attempt it and don't succeed. So there's just as much of a problem on the women's side with people doing, you know, having some serious mental health issues. So yeah, what I'm saying is both groups need help, but there's a difference in the way that we do things. And that difference, actually, you know, this is what the left want to try and wipe out, these differences. But these differences can either keep you ignorant, or we can play off each other's strengths. Because women do have, I believe, strengths that men don't have, and I think they're measurable. I think we're beginning to measure some of those things. And we're measuring a lot of the things that guys have got. These are important things to know, because it could save lives. It could help women and men be the best that they can be for each other. Like, yeah, people need to realise we need to team up more and more. Because I've seen the split even inside this movement before. And that is, I've seen splits that seemed ideological and it ended up being men versus women. Not now, not recently, but going back some time. And it all seemed like it was about politics, but how come everybody on one side was a woman and everybody on the other side happened to be a man? It was really odd. This was about, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago now, but it was really strange. And I remember thinking, this can't be coincidence, you know? This can't be coincidence. So what was it? Why was this happening? But I'm not saying this is the answer to everything, but divide and conquer does answer a lot of questions. You know, even with the Christianity, I know a lot of people on the right are into Christianity. I know we're a Christian country, and I certainly know that if Christianity had been strong in this country, Islam wouldn't have got in. So I appreciate Christianity for so many things, but I'm just not a Christian. So that part of it as well sometimes confuses me, that we've gone back that way, and I'll tell you for why. Because all the polls and that suggested that while America is a 55% religious country still, Britain was down to about 17%. And so when the right pushed on it so hard, it worried me. Because if that's 17% of Brits as a whole, what percentage of the right? Probably the higher percentage is going to be the right, but you're still not talking about a high percentage. And the way it was being pushed, I was really afraid it was going to alienate people and push them away. Because of that fact, like 17, maybe it's gone up from the 17% since because of everything that's going on. I imagine it probably has, but it's not going to be past 20%. So, yeah, I don't know. And I look at all these things. I don't look at the people necessarily doing it as the dividers and conquerors, but I wonder where these ideas come from. Because it seems like whatever the intention behind them, they seem to just divide and conquer. I mean, look at me and Vin and Spawn, the way we reacted at a certain demo when we saw, when we were uppercutted with the Bible rather than just, you know, talk to about it. And it created a negative reaction that didn't need to happen. And it could have been done differently and everybody would have respected the religion. So, yeah, and again, so it's hard to know what is purely accidental and what is like government divide and conquer, but it's happening, guys. It really is happening. And like I say, with me, you know, I've tried to ask questions and I haven't even really begun. All I've really done, this is just think about the irony of this. All I've really done is talking about questions. When you look at the substance, and this is very, very deliberate, it's to illustrate a point. I have really talked about the grand total of fuck all. And that's why some of you may be getting a little irritated because you feel like I'm dancing around the point. I'm sorry, but there's a point to be illustrated. And that is that I've pretty much said the grand total of fuck all, other than a few opinions and discoveries. And people have made so many accusations and conclusions and everything else when I haven't even made any myself. And it's told me all. It's told me all. It's told me I'm doing the right thing. So, you know, I'm going to go down that road of inquiry. But I'm hoping now we seem to have got bored of the dramas. Because it is fun for a while. I get it. I'm not having to go at anybody that watches those streams, okay? I'm not here to judge your viewing choice. I'm just saying I can see the patterns, right? So, and we all know the game. But yeah, you know, if we can get back to doing what we can do, great. And that's women, men, everybody. You know, unify. You know, and again, and the reason I wanted to address the women part today is that, again, men were not representing themselves like they should have been at one point, and that I just wanted to make clear. You know, we were letting people down. I felt personally, not anymore. But we were. So men needed to step up, big time. And they have. But men, women, all of us, we're only going to do this together. And it's like I said to you a little while ago, but people only hear what they want to hear. That's the problem. I've noticed this the last few days. People they're waiting for their chance to talk. They're not looking for an opportunity to listen. That's what I've realised. And if that's the case, you're wasting your time. So for me, it's like, I need to be willing, it's made me realise, if I'm going to do a podcast, I'm going to talk to people, I need to be willing to listen, instead of just wait for my turn to fucking talk. But that's also got to be true of other people as well that I talk to, that they've got to be willing to listen. What Vin would call a good faith conversation, you know? And I think that's the road I want to go down. You know, and I think now people seem to be like, ugh, with the drama. I think we might be in a space where we can just do that, have conversations, and keep. And the thing of it is as well, I think everybody thinks I'm going to go on this mad rant down a certain route. I can't. We got Starmer there. We've got 3 years. We have to be covering the politics. We have to be covering all aspects of this. So there's going to be no OCD mission on one subject. There's too many things to cover. Somebody on Vin's stream said it best yesterday. How are we going to get through the next 3 years? You know, with great difficulty. Starmer's going to do, for the longer he stays in, and the longer his parties stay in, they're going to put in more tent pegs into the ground and obstacles, obstructions, hurdles, everything they can to undoing the damage. They know what we know. They know there's a sand timer there. And it won't matter who we get into government at a certain point. Things will be lost. It will be too late. It will be too late. And they know this. So they're going to, in the next 3 years, they're going to try and put every obstruction in the way. Hence the moving back towards Europe. This is all strategic. They know what they're doing. And they've got a good chance of winning. Because I keep seeing people say, oh, you know, Rupert Lowe, that's it, we've won. You know, we've won nothing. We've won absolutely nothing. We've got absolutely everything to do. Everything. It's such an uphill battle. It really is. But I hope we're sort of ready now to get on with it. And I think most people are, which is great. Because I found the current situation tedious, whatever you might think. But I knew, as I said, I've been watching YouTube patterns for 9 fucking years. I'm used to the way they go now. I knew, and I said, and again, if you go back and look at my live stream, I say it on my live streams, things have to blow themselves out in the time that people, you guys, allow. And I think we're there. So, what was I going to say? Oh, shit. It was, hang on a minute. I nearly had a bonus point for you then, because there was something I was going to mention from yesterday that shit, give me a sec. If you don't mind hanging with me a second, let me just see if I can put it back out of my memory. Shit. It was actually a good point. It was onto a political topic. Ah, fuck's sake. It was important to me anyway. Oh, that was it, yeah. I want to ask a question. And this is, if you do leave a comment, this is the kind of thing I'd wonder where you stand in the comments. But please, again, please be respectful. Humane answers. But in all seriousness, I told you the other day about London being owned by Chinese businesses, just all kinds. When I've talked to landlords of the hotels I've stayed at, most of them are owned overseas, and none of them are English owned. Just to give an example, when you're talking about beautiful old properties, blah, 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 London has been sold, yeah, in every way that counts. So, not being very good at certain parts of legality and politics, I have a question for you. Because everybody seems to agree on not deporting everybody out of the country and not being a racist prick, right? So since we've covered that ground laboriously, let's look into the ownership of businesses in London. Most people see London at the moment as being the lost capital, as in you're never going to get it back now. Some people won't accept that, however. And they may be right to, it's their capital of their country. When you consider that a lot of it is literally owned by outside forces, like I say, from Chinese to all kinds of businesses, it's been sold. What do you do about that? I don't have the legal and political mind to think this problem through, which is why I bring it up, because it came up to me the other night. And this is why I think London might be a write-off. But I know some people out there might not accept that. But speaking realistically, in realistic terms of what can be done, and realistic terms of what should be done, blah, 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 what do you think should be done about the property situation and everything else in London? Do you think anything can be done about the situation in London? Even, do you think anything should be done about the situation in London? Or would you just fence it off and say, look, and honestly, I've seen all kinds of different answers, but we're getting to a stage now where we need to really ask these questions, because wasted resources and wasted time is something that we haven't got the luxury of. So we need to either decide to make concerted efforts with these places, or to completely fucking write them off. We can't be half and half. We can't be losing money. Like, this is going to be so hard to pull off. We can't be losing on money on things that are write-offs. So we've got to be, do you know what I'm trying to say? So we've got to assess things in that way. I know it's crazy, right? Let me have a read through your comments. Remember, I'm only going to get a third of your comments because of the fact that YouTube are wankers and they will only give me top chat. Hey, Craig, Steve! Thanks, Steve. I'm a nerd, Tom. Nothing better than listening to Nima, Carl or Joe Rogan. Fair play. There's so much now. Yeah, there is. Too much. I'm not bored, I'm depressed. I get it, man. I only know a couple, to be honest, not been on long. You know, I mean, people in the bigger hemisphere, like the people who stand up against Muslims, like Ayaan Hirsi Ali, like I've got so much fucking respect for that lady. She is a fucking trooper. She really is. And doesn't, I don't think, get the respect that she deserves. You know, she's been through hell and back and will still stand up against Islam when most of the guys won't. Yeah? Her love's, you know how they treat women. She's constantly standing up against them, and she's someone that doesn't get enough credit. You know, on a bigger stage I'm talking about, you know? So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of women that have had to stand up again, because the guys in Islam wouldn't. So it tends to be less women, but there's reasons for that are more, yeah. But fuck me, when they stand up, they stand up. They don't do it by us. Yeah, that's right. Blokes, you're right. So Steve says 90-year-old friend said you could always get away with putting a twat in their place much better than a bloke could. Yeah, because with blokes, there's an underlying threat of violence, even when they're getting on, that women don't perceive because they're not wired the same way. We walk past each other down the street, and even if it be a low-level hum that you can barely hear, and it's the only way I can describe it to you, there's an underlying threat of violence, and each guy knows it, which is why we don't instantly attack each other for looking at each other the wrong way at each other when we're walking down the street. It seems childish, and it's not a conscious choice. It's happening almost because you're sizing up for defense, for attack. It's just a primal thing that happens. And that's why women can often be better at sorting certain things out, because men won't attack unless they're sure. Because they know it, deep down they know it's life, it could be life or death over a fucking silly look. So men will take a lot more to power up and tell someone, where women will quite quickly say, you're fucking out of order, do you know what I mean? Men can be harder to get out of that, and they can seem like cowards, but it's because of this constant underlying thing of violence between them. You know, there's a lot of guys that don't have a middle ground. They go from 0 to 100, and that there's no middle gear, you know, and they're aware of it. So as a result, they control themselves in that way. They know, I'm a gun only to be released when necessary. Katie Hopkins, yeah, she's had an amazing journey. And, you know, I never used to like her, but I was wrong about her. And she has been such a... in many ways, she's more of a stand-up character than many of the others, because she's done it all alone. She's done it all when people forgot her. You know, there's certain other people out there, and I'm not criticising for it, but I'm just saying there's certain other people out there that had nothing but support. That's not been the same for Katie. She goes months, sometimes years without support, you know? Whereas, you know, and again, I'm not knocking Tommy for anything else. I'm saying people like Tommy, other people that we know have had more support, which she's had years of, you know, I've got to credit Tommy because he has obviously talked about her and stuff like that. But my point being is that she's the one that has really taken so much and got so little back, you know. I know you do, Caps. Oh shit. If I see something that somebody misunderstood the other day, but I knew that you wouldn't, Capricorn, is that if somebody asks a question, and like I say, I tried to make this clear the other day, but if people don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it. But I knew that you would, yeah? I knew that you'd be cool. Say if you ask a question or you bring up a point, like, you're a sample of the whole, which means if you're thinking of it, then the likelihood that somebody else is thinking the same thing as you is actually multiply quite high. And that's why if one person makes a comment that I see as either being a problem or interesting, or now look at the likelihood of what's the chances that other people are asking that question, and usually the likelihood is quite high. So that's why I brought up the subject of women today, is because I know that You may be the one saying it, but there'll be a lot of others thinking it that may not be brave enough to say it, because most people don't comment on the internet. I don't. Very often I do on my friends' channels, but I'm not a commenter. I'm not a commenter. 90% of people aren't. So when you brought that up, I don't think, and this is what the other people don't understand because they're thinking about their ego. But when you bring that point up, I don't think, oh, I've got to respond to Capricorn. I think, oh, perhaps there is a group of people out there who I need to address, because it's going to be more than one person who's thought this at the same time, because we're human beings and we notice things. So that's bound, you know, if one person thinks it, likelihood is other people think it, if it's a fair and valid point, which it is. So that's why I sort of speak about it head on. But the problem is, you see, other people take it so personally. But I knew you wouldn't, because I knew, you know, because you understand the logic of this, right? So it's like answering a lot of people at once as well, about where I feel about this particular idea. You know, I feel like, guys, let you guys down, you know. Back then, not now. I think guys have stepped up a lot more now. I hate the comments on here. There's something we need to sort out as a studio, guys. Like, I love this studio for all the things that it does, but the comments it just butchers. And the fact that it hasn't got a studio, I need to make a decision. I'm either going to pay for it a year of StreamYard or a year of something at some point, hopefully sooner than later. But I'm getting pissed off of this. I don't have the time to. Sorry, you don't need to know behind the scenes. Sorry, I'm just getting irritated with certain aspects of this. Sorry, I'm just thinking that. See, the way it used to work was you used to be able to just hook stuff up and get all of the chat. But it's because of the way that YouTube are arranging the chat. It's a deliberate thing. It's all about liability, by the way. It's nothing to do with offending people. It's all liability. Everything's liability. It's only two words Google care about: engagement, liability. That's it. They found this out. Like you can complicate that company as much as you want, but it comes down to two words: engagement and liability. That's it. That's all that company exists for. Hey, Vindicator. Welcome, Vin, to the channel. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Sorry, I was just bitching because I was saying I need to get a stream. Sorry. I need to get a studio where I can bring people on, because I want to be able to do it whether I'm on the phone, whether I'm sat at the computer at home. I want to be able to do it anywhere, because I do podcast best when it's from the hip, right? Just not always. Like if I'm doing a pre-edited podcast that's supposed to be high tech or whatever else, that's different. But generally speaking, it's from the hip. But I want to be able to go, boop, you know, and be able to walk down here, or in the summertime go and sit by the pond there with my dog. But have people, but you won't see that, and have people come on and do that. So, and also be able to see the fucking comments. So yeah, that's something that I really want to work getting sorted sooner than later, because it is irritating me. You know, keep not seeing comments. Then you see them, if I do have the time to go back and see part of the replays, you see them on the replays. And there's like 2/3 more. Sometimes only a third more, but it varies. And there's no structure or reasoning to the way that they structure the comments that are seen and aren't seen. To me, it's a total random fest. So it's frustrating, because part of what used to make the walk and talks fun is that we can have a back and forth, you know? And they sort of, yeah. I understand, Steve. Yeah, well, you know, have a think about London, what to do with it, seriously, because I don't think it's a, well, maybe for some of you it is, I don't know, but I don't think it's a simple question. But it's one that needs to be asked. Because like I say, it's either a waste of resources in terms of what, you know, is being proposed, or it's not. But people need to figure that out. Because again, like, things are going to be so difficult that again, we need to be absolutely sure that no money, no time, anything is being wasted on anything. Because I think any wastage at the moment, I know it sounds crazy, but we're in a race against time. We've got to survive. It's a weird kind of situation we're in. Because on the one hand, we've got to survive for 3 agonising fucking years. Yeah? But it gives us time to do some research, right? But even so, 3 agonising fucking years. From the other side of the coin, for someone who's trying to get ready to take power, that's fuck all time. That's not enough. So it's like, it's real, you know, we talk about double-edged swords. This really, really is. In every way. Yeah. Right. Kaylee, I can't have you on here because I found out the other day that I've got nothing against you. I've got nothing against you at all. But you put someone's details on here the other day, and I don't have proper vision. And I didn't realise you doxed someone on here. I can't take that risk. Like that gets my channel taken down. And, you know, again, I've got nothing against you, but you must have known that when you put you must have known that, right? That I could lose everything. And you've got your own channel to do that with. You know, if you want to dox someone, I don't agree with that, but please do that on your channel, not on mine, because you'll get me taken down for things I don't even understand. So I want to let you on the channel, but I can't risk it. You've already proven to be a danger to me, even when I was speaking to you in good faith. So I can't risk you doing that again. I'm sorry. But you've done it already, and I didn't know. It was my mod that flagged it down, showed it to me, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, you know? And yeah, I'm not having someone killed because of that kind of thing. So, you know, please do that on your own channel, and then maybe I wouldn't have a problem with it coming on, but I can't take the risk of someone who's prepared to dox people coming on my channel. Steve, as you've just heard everything, because it's already happened, again, I don't want to have any bad blood with this person, but because it's already happened, and because the doxing's already happened, and I can't take that risk, I think this person may have about 11 other YouTube accounts. Every single one of them, as they come on, if they need to go, they need to go. Because again, I cannot take the risk of people being doxed on my channel. That is not what this channel is about. And we cannot have that. See, right, she's doing it again. Steve, can you remove those comments, please, mate? Otherwise I'm gonna have to take the whole stream down. She's done it again, Steve. Please take them off, mate, if you're there. Steve, I can't do everything from this end, buddy. Help me. I fucking knew she'd... See? And this is exactly why the banning. That's disgusting. It's disgusting. Thanks, Steve. And she's got about another 11 other accounts, Steve, so she's going to keep coming back and trying it again and again and again. She did it on Vindicator's channel as well yesterday. So it's multiple times she's doxed people. I'm never going to say her name again because she thrives off it, yeah? And I'd say the same to you, Steve, but just keep an eye out because there'll be lots more accounts. I didn't want any argument, which is why I didn't give her a hard time over the last one, but I cannot have people doxed. I don't care who it is, by the way. I don't care if I fell out with some. You never dox anybody. So no, not having that on my channel. It's disgusting. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Jake's in there as well, Steve. Get rid of the prick. He's another one. Complete deletion, mate. You see it? They'll do this for a little while until they realise the channel will grow beyond their ability to get on there anymore, and then they give up. It's fine. I told you all at the beginning, as I grow this channel, the people that haven't wanted to have fuck all to do with me will come out the woodwork and they will attack me. You're seeing it all. I told you, look, I ain't even got to 1,000 subscribers yet. They're already all doing it. Trying to sabotage me. Why do you think that is, guys? You've always been afraid of me and I've never understood why. What the fuck is it I offer other than truth? Or is it just that I'm nothing to do with this and it's just perfectly okay to make me collateral damage in somebody else's argument? Anyway, I'm not entertaining it. Because that's exactly what they want. So they're gone. Right, that's got to go. You see that Jake there, Steve, yeah? You see him, buddy? Yeah, Jake's got to go, mate. Back, permanent ban. They'll be back under other names, but it'll be pretty obvious it's them, yeah? Because they just do the same thing. I've seen it all before. It's vile. It's vile. That woman will end up dead tomorrow. You know? Jupiter ended up dead tomorrow. Is everybody okay with that? And anybody nodding right now? Yeah, exactly why I wouldn't want anything to do with you. People learn nothing, do they? With all the things that have happened, the people under attack and bullying, stuff like that, they don't learn nothing, do they? Like, people are seriously going to get hurt over stupidness. You know, I'm not, you know what, yeah, I think I'm done. Just make sure that little prick's gone as well. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. It is really terrible behaviour. It's the worst behaviour to do on here. Thanks, Steve. I know you've been up against it, Steve. Thank you, mate. Thank you. And I'm sorry, everybody. And I've just realised she's done it to me again. I just realised. I don't want to admit this to you on camera because I'll open up a window. But I'm going to have to keep the comments because So yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to take live stream down. So thank her for that. Sorry to this happened on this channel. I did try and oh shit. How far back, guys? How far back? Don't even remember touching it. How far back, guys? Can you hear me now? Can't think where I would have put it. Can you hear me now? Hear me now? Shit. Fuck. Yeah, you can hear me. Do you know where the sound stopped? I can't fucking believe this. Another £30 fucking mic down the drain. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna find it. About 3 minutes. Shit. Okay, let's have a look over here. Okay, look, listen. I'm gonna turn this off now. You can see what people are about. You can see what we're up against. And this is what you got to do when you build a YouTube channel these days. Is high or low. You're dealing with cunts. And it's a difficult road to get out. And at the moment, with me approaching 1,000, that's going to be the big push to take me out before I get there. They know once I get 2,000-3,000, I'm gone, and they'll never get a mention again. So the idea is to get me now. So guys, get me out of here, because these people are small time and they'll stay that way if we can just get the fuck away from them. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. Call it a day for now. Oh, hang on. Let Spawn. I think you've still got about 60 steps back. I think you've still got mod rights there, Spawn. Well, this has turned into a clusterfuck, isn't it? Yeah, so ban that one as well, because the more they make, the more we ban. It's fine. Might as well ban it. I was going to turn it off, Steve. We just ban them as she makes them. It's fine. I'll be turning the chat off on here in the future, and it won't make any difference, because when you don't have the chat on the screen, then you can retroactively delete comments, so it makes no difference. It's only because I got the chat up on the screen it makes a difference today. So the power that they think they're enjoying today will literally be gone by the next stream. So let them laugh it up, but we also ban them as we go. Sick cunts. I think it's okay to dox someone. You come on here laughing about it, you sick cunts. Yeah, particular whore cunt. And the thing is, you see the laughing emojis and everything else, they know I've done nothing to them. So no, this is completely unprovoked behaviour. So they're fine with that. Ergo, psychopath. Yeah? So fuck them. We'll be deleting every trace of them. I'll catch you soon, guys. Tom Fury, calling it a day now.